that is Mantissa and Exponent, okay? And when you're thinking of Mantissa and Exponent, okay, it comes in two different bits, okay? In an exam, you'll be told what the situation is, okay? So you might have the Mantissa, which could be, say, 4-bit, okay? And you could have the exponent, which is, say, 4-bit as well, okay? Usually in an exam, they'll tell you what this is, okay? They'll usually tell you what the Mantissa is and what the exponent is, okay? And this means the Mantissa is this section here. So the Mantissa would be this bit here, okay? And you might have something like that, okay? That there, right, is the Mantissa, okay? And it's the bit where you put in, obviously, your binary numbers. And again, I'll show you a bit more on this as we're going through. The exponent is how many bits it moves, okay? So because we know this one, obviously, we're doing here, and we're having a look at it just as an open example. A 4-bit, right? You will know that you might have something like that, right? That there is a 4-bit exponent, okay? Again, if they were doing like a 4-bit Mantissa, right, I would knock off some of these. So you might have something like that. Okay, so that would be 4-bit. Okay, so you'd be dealing with obviously just the 4 bits for the Mantissa. So again, depend obviously on how it's set up. So you've got the exponent and the Mantissa. So again, depending obviously on the exam question and how it's going to be set up. Okay, this is also always in 2's complement. So you always do Mantissa and exponent using 2's complement. Okay, so I know you a lot prefer probably prefer doing sign of magnitude because it's nice and easier, but Mantissa and exponent is always set up using 2's complement because it's a way of obviously showing negative numbers with a decimal place, okay, and to help with the exponent, okay. For example, if you were looking at this exponent here now, you could see that this one is, so it would be -8, 4, 2, and 1. And because we're using 2's complement, we know that the exponent here is 2. Okay, so always remember this, that this is the exponent in Mantissa, you're dealing with 2's complement at all times. Okay, and the first bit that we're going to look at today is just having a look at what certain numbers are represented in using Mantissa and exponent. Okay, so if I have a look at the next one, right, you could be given this number, okay, and you've got to work out what the situation is. So just double checking I've got this right. Right, so you could get given this number, okay, 0 point, okay, 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0. Okay, so this would be an example. It's also, I think it's one of your questions from the workbook. Okay, so you can see here what would happen, right, is that this is here is the Mantissa, right? There is the Mantissa. Okay, this here, it's not telling you about how many bits it is or anything like that. You're just dealing with this as it is. You're just converting this number to a denary. Okay, and this there is the exponent. Okay, so what we've got to look at here is the setup, right? So again, always look at the exponent in 2's complement and also the Mantissa. So if we look at this, we've got -8, 4, 2, and 1. Okay, so we know that the exponent is 6. Okay, it's 6. Okay, it's +6, right? What that means is that if it's positive, okay, then the number, the decimal place, is got to move that way. Okay, if it's positive. So if it's positive, it's got to move that way. Okay, if it's negative, right, it's got to move the decimal place. It's got to move that way. Okay, so the number gets smaller. Okay, so if it's negative, it moves that way. If it's positive, it moves that way. So we know that because the exponent is 6, the decimal place is going to move 6 times. Okay, and then drop where it needs to. Okay, so if we have a look, if I was to draw it out, okay, so it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's going to move to there. Okay, that there, if you did this in exam, you would get the following marks. You would get that mark there to show that it's moved, and that mark there to show that it's representing the 6, the exponent. Okay, so we can see that the decimal place is moved. Okay, so then what would happen is that you would then set this out as so, right? So the decimal place is moved. So it's now going to look 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, decimal place, because that's where it's moved to, and then 1. Okay, so we've sorted the exponent, right? And we've now moved the decimal place positive 6. Okay, so what would happen then is you would then just need to look and go, right, well, we'll just need to label this up, right? That becomes your 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, minus 64. Okay, because again, it's just how many digits we're looking at. This one here, because it's the first one after the decimal, this is just your half. Okay, it's just the half. Okay, imagine if you have more ones. Okay, you would just obviously they get the double every time, so they become like a quarter, an eighth, 16th, 32th, and so on. Right? It just works it out like that. And I've always, to be honest, this is one bit where I struggle with, is like the converting of fractions to decimals. Okay, so I'm all right with half and quarters and all, but when it goes into 132s and so on, I'm thinking, going, what on earth is this? And it's when this is where we've done this in the past. I'm thinking, well, and it's just sometimes just my basic addition that I've often went wrong. But once you've got it wrote down, it's quite fine. Okay, so you can see here, all we then do is look at what we've got. So we've got 32, 8, 56, 2 and a half. So this then becomes 58.5. Okay, so this Mantissa and Exponent becomes, of this here, because it's moved 6 times, right, it becomes 58.5. Okay, I'm just going to stop the share for a second and just come and talk to you. Right, so you can see the Jamboard there now. It's sitting in front of me. Okay, has anyone got any questions so far regards to Mantissa and Exponent? Because it is quite a bit to take in it when we first do it. Okay, I'm going to do an example of a -1 in a second. What's people's opinions of that?
Doesn't seem too bad.
Seems all right, yeah. I think it's just, like you say, it's working out where it all sets. It's working out where it all sets. So I'm just going to go back to the present, and I will do a negative one for you, right? So you can see, right? So again, it's just how you set this out. On Thursday, we're going to do it going the other way. So you're going to get given the number, then you've got to plot it. Okay, and then we're going to do some exam style questions using Kami, and then I can see where people can work from. Okay. Again, these ones are nice and easy because it's giving you the Mantissa and it's giving you the exponent already wrote out. Okay, it all depends obviously on the questions and what comes up. So what could happen, right, is that sometimes you get the negative, right? So again, I'm just going off my book here, right? So I've got 0.1110000, okay, and a exponent of that. Okay, so straight away I can see, right, here is the Mantissa, right? So there's the Mantissa, and here is the exponent. Okay, right, straight away this can't be 15, right, because that is never ever going to jump down all them places to 15, right, and go all the way down to here. right, and jump all them once, because it's just not going to happen. This is why you realize this is in 2's complement, because it just makes your life so much easier, because then you can just go, right, we know that is -8, 4, 2, and 1. Okay, so if you obviously put this together, -8, you know that is the exponent is equal to -1, because we are dealing in 2's complement. The same with this. Okay, so all you do then, right, is have a look at this and go, right, this way it needs to move to, right? So this just moves one place this way to make it a smaller number. Okay, the decimal place moves there. So you get your mark for you showing the exponent and your mark for showing the mantissa and where it's moved. Okay, and then you simply just plot it out. So you're going to have 0, because you've got your next 0 in for your 2's complement. Decimal, okay, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so when you set this out, okay, you're going to have obviously your -1. Okay, there's 2's complement. You've got a half, you've got a quarter, you've got an eighth, and you've got a 16th. Okay, so if you obviously add these all together and work them all out of what these are, you should end up with the answer of 0 point, because again it's a positive number, it's a positive in 2's complement, 0.4375. Okay, because you can see, because this moves this way, it's a smaller number. Okay, it's a smaller it's making the number smaller, because if you put this in, if you didn't put the exponent in and just converted this, you're going to have a half, a quarter, and an eighth. Okay, so it's going to be a bigger number than this one here. Okay, and this is where we'll need to look at something for normalization, which we'll do over the next couple of lessons. Okay, but you can see, with regards to a basic introduction, regards to mantissa and exponent, okay, that the first thing we'll remember is that it's always set in 2's complement, okay, and that you'll focus on the exponent, right, because the exponent tells the user, right, where this decimal point moves to. Is it going to be a negative, right, and it's going to go this way to make the number smaller, or is it a positive, which is the decimal is going to go this way to make the number bigger? Okay, so the exponent is the key. A lot of students get this wrong because they don't know how to set it out properly. Okay, the year 13s are just starting to suss it out now. If you are struggling with mantissa and exponent when it comes to an exam, and you know what the exponent is, okay, and you know that this there is -1. If you wrote my exponent equals -1, bang, 1 mark. Okay, if you draw an arrow to say that this is moved, right, you get 1 mark. If your answer is not correct, right, and you still get a mark for showing your workings out. So it's very important that you attempt the mantissa and exponent sections, because these questions, right, they always come up on the exam paper. Okay, they always come up. So again, just to recap over these ones here, right, again, if you're looking at a positive, again, using 2's complement, this is the 0, it's going to be a 6, so it's a positive, so it's moving this way. Okay, again, show where the decimal place can move to. Okay, showcase that, because it shows that you've shown your working out, and you can get your mark, an extra mark for your workings out. Okay, and then the final answer, show the decimal and show the exponent, and again for negative, where it's moving to. Okay, using the negative on there. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the share for a second.